With how many guns are in every Call of Duty, there's bound to be fan favorites, as well as certain ones that everybody rallies against. What is up, everybody? Jimmy or Chaos. Welcome back to the Every COD series. Today, we're going to do another video we've never done before. Today, we're going to go from COD 4 all the way to Black Ops 6, and we're going to talk about the most hated gun in every single Call of Duty multiplayer. Some of them are hated because they were overpowered. Some of them are hated because they were spammed, but they're all some of the most hated guns in COD history. You let me know in the comments which of these guns you hated the most. Drop a like on this video, and let's go all the way back to 2007 with a pretty obvious choice. Call of Duty 4 has to be the M16A4. Easy pick. It was overpowered. It was the main weapon of choice for people who didn't want to put any thought into their gameplay and just spray across the map for easy kills. 3-round burst rifle, you needed 2 shots to kill, and 0 recoil. It was way too good. It was absolutely the most hated gun in the game. If you were spamming this thing back in the day or in Modern Warfare Remastered, just know everybody probably looked at you in a certain way. World at War, the MP40. Now, a lot of people have a ton of nostalgia for the MP40, myself included. But the reason it's the most hated gun in the game was, once again, because of how overpowered it was. How much it just killed the variety of the game. This SMG could deal over 50 damage per shot without stopping power. There wasn't really any reason to use anything else in the game if you were taking the game seriously. So even though there was a lot of awesome guns in the game, hardly anybody was using them because the MP40, and the MP40 spammers were really doing damage to the game's reputation. I remember everybody was running it with the drum magazine. Modern Warfare 2, 2009. The UMP45. It was basically the MP40 of Modern Warfare 2, but not quite as bad. This SMG could kill in 2 shots, from a long ways away. Had relatively low rate of fire, could be improved with rapid fire, gave it a time to kill that basically invalidated every other SMG in the game. Now, there was a lot of awesome assault rifles in Modern Warfare 2. But when you think about the SMGs, the UMP was really the only one worth using, and a lot of people got really upset about the UMP spam that could take over lobbies extremely quickly. I love this thing, but when I think about guns from Modern Warfare 2 that provoked a reaction, or the most rage, besides the ACR among the community, this was it. There was the Akimbo models, but those were patched up, while the UMP45, it was never touched. Black Ops, the original. The FAMAS. Look, I love the FAMAS, you love the FAMAS, but we all hated getting killed by the FAMAS because it was by far the best gun in the game, and most of us always felt like it was a little too good. The fact that Treyarch actually did patch this thing once and didn't help it, that was the obvious there. Didn't do any substantial anything to the spamming the community was doing with it. It's a piece of COD history, yes, for sure. But it was also pretty rage-inducing because you have to wonder just how differently Black Ops would have played if the FAMAS didn't have such a balancing issue. Modern Warfare 3 2011. Easy pick. The FMG9. If you were using the Akimbo FMG9s back in the day, you really need to explain yourself to yourself because you knew they were busted, you knew they made the game way less fun for everyone else, and you chose to do it anyway. These machine pistols fired at 1,000 rounds per minute. They only needed 3 bullets to kill. That's kind of nutty if you think about it, now that I said it. If you were running them in Akimbo form and you had Steady Aim Pro, you could erase people from 20 feet away. They couldn't react. And since these were machine pistols, there was no movement penalties for running them, which made it even easier to run around, spray people back to the lobby. Cheap, cheesy, hands down, the most hated gun in Modern Warfare 3. Black Ops 2. The LSAT. The light machine gun was probably the best in the franchise at the time Black Ops 2 launched. It's still one of the best we've ever seen. It fired at an even, smooth 750 rounds per minute, hit for between 24 and 40 base damage, made it a 3 to 5 shot kill with no headshots. Also came loaded with 100 rounds by default. No recoil. Made it easy to find a safe place to sit, just spray across the map for easy kills. And then once you started loading it up with attachments, it got ridiculous. The most hated combination was, of course, the target finder optic with FMJ rounds, because then you could literally just sit in one place, spray across the map, easy kill streaks, no consequent, and there was very few true counters to it. And yeah, Treyarch, of course, put it in a default class with those 2 attachments. Awesome. COD Ghosts. The M27 IAR. Now, there weren't really that many guns and Ghosts that were straight up hated, but when I think about the gun that got on people's nerves the most, I'm going to go with the M27 light machine gun. Came with 100 rounds in the mag, a relatively quick reload animation along with very low recoil, and a very super impressive 3-shot kill range. Basically, it was the Ghost equivalent of the Black Ops 2 LSAT. And a lot of people got a lot of mileage out of it just by lying prone somewhere with a thermal sight and spraying it across the map in COD Ghost. I think this is more than fair to put this choice on the list. Advanced Warfare. Another easy choice. The BAL-27, your starting assault rifle. Not only was it overpowered on its own, but then you add in all the slew of variants, just made it stupid. The time to kill was quick in the game. The time to kill with this gun was quick, easy to control. There wasn't really anything else in the game that had this level of versatility behind it. I guess you could say there was the ASM-1, but honestly, the BAL was way better. I think we all knew it. There's a reason we called this game Battle of Duty to this day. And if we get an Advanced Warfare 2, I don't know. Do we get a BAL? Black Ops 3. The 205 Brecci. Another super easy choice. Perhaps most hated gun in COD history? You tell me, because of how easy it was to use and how perfectly it fit the annoying, spammy, no-skill playstyle. You ran around the map spamming the right trigger for dozens and dozens of easy kills. You never even had to aim down the sights of your gun because it was a shotgun with a really generous hitbox. I'm not sure why Treyarch ever nerfed it. I don't know. We could ask them. I know this game was released in 2015, so patches weren't as common as they are today, but Black Ops 3 was still a very regularly updated game, so it's not like they couldn't patch the Brecci. Heck, they patched the models back in Modern Warfare 2 2009. There was other guns in the game, patched several times. Remember the Vesper? Again, not really sure why they decided to never touch the Brecci. Maybe they loved it. The only patch the Brecci ever received was to fix the modded controller exploits. That's it. They never actually patched the gun stats, and that's what made it a problem. If I ever go to visit the Treyarch office again, I'm going to ask him. I'm going to ask him how this gun flew under the radar. Infinite Warfare. The MV4. Starting assault rifle. Like the BAL. Wasn't as overpowered as the BAL in Advanced Warfare, but it had the same hatred surrounding it. It was just way too easy to use. More or less erased the need for all the other assault rifles in the game, and you got it handed to you out of the gate. Very competitive time to kill in basically every scenario, but with extremely low recoil and very quick handling speed. So why would you put time into getting good or learning anything? You didn't have to do anything. Why would you put time into grinding attachments? You didn't need to. The MV4 would keep you competitive in every situation all the way through your grind. Easiest gun in the game to use, so why not spam it at level 1 all the way to max prestige? If Advanced Warfare was Battle of Duty, then Infinite Warfare was basically just MV4 of Duty. Call of Duty World War II. The Volk. The DLC rifle that was fully automatic, and it was kind of like this middle ground between the STG-44 and the BAR. Moderate rate of fire, moderate recoil, generous damage per shot, but the reason it was so hated was because a lot of people thought it was overpowered due to the recoil pattern being so easy to hit headshots, and with the average time to kill being way better than most other rifles, bingo. Then there was the added fact it was a DLC gun, meaning if you weren't playing COD World War II during the event where the gun was given away to most players for simple challenges, then you had to grind to get your hands on it. I think we can all agree, getting killed by a gun you don't have is extra frustrating. So yeah, you may not think the Volk was overpowered, but if we're just talking about the most hated guns in each game, I think it deserves a spot. I know the BAR's up there. When I think about guns that provoke the most negative conversation online, this one springs up. I mean, once again, I know the BAR at the end of the day, but the BAR wasn't a DLC gun. Black Ops 4. The VMP. This SMG was added as DLC a few months after the launch of the game, and not only was it completely overpowered, it was game-breaking. Totally outclassed basically every other gun in the game, and it was an SMG, meaning it had the damage to outshoot everything, while also having insane handling speeds. Far and away the best gun in the game. Treyarch never really felt the need to nerf it. If you're playing Black Ops 4 during the post-VMP era, you know it single-handedly destroyed the fun factor of the multiplayer experience. If somebody was running around with the VMP, there wasn't anything you could do. You either whipped out your own VMP class, assuming you actually had the VMP, or you just left the lobby and played somewhere else because the VMP player was going to dominate the lobby 9 times out of 10. Modern Warfare 2019. The 725, the double-barrel shotgun that launched completely overpowered and after it was patched, still remained one of the most hated guns in the game simply because of the rep. Insta-kill range on it was stupid at first. Even after the patches, it was a powerful shotgun, had a powerful punch behind every pull of the trigger. Something especially tilting about getting instantly blown off with a single shot from this gun. And if you were a hardcore player, the 725 was basically never patched because it could still instantly kill you from 30 to 40 feet away. Black Ops Cold War. The Tech 9. This gun broke Cold War for a while, and even after Treyarch did nerf it, it remained one of the most heavily spammed SMGs in the game because of how broken it was. By default, semi-auto SMG, but there was a full auto attachment that made it by far the best weapon in its class and arguably the best weapon in the game overall because it was so versatile. You couldn't play 2 matches without running into somebody spamming the Tech 9, and it really killed the potential variety of the game even after the nerfs. If you boot up Cold War right now, you won't have to play very long until you run into somebody or a whole lobby sliding around corners and spraying the Tech 9 everywhere. Super frustrating. Maybe try something else? Vanguard. The STG-44. What is it with Sledgehammer and overpowered starting weapons? Here we go again. The STG-44, starting rifle in Vanguard, widely seen as the best in the game for a long time because of multiple reasons. Low recoil, high fire rates, extremely quickly time to kill. Because of the 10 attachment gunsmith system in the game, people were constantly discovering new overpowered builds for the STG, including several two-shot builds that plagued the first couple months of Vanguard's life cycle. But even after the STG's main flaws were patched, it remained a hated gun. Just for the simple fact, much like the BAL, much like the MV4, it was strong and it was put in your hands when you turned on the game, meaning everyone was spamming it right out of the gate. Sledgehammer really needs to work on not giving people the best gun in the game when they turn it on. If we do get Advanced Warfare 2, come on, Sledge. Modern Warfare 2 2022. The TAC-56. This is the universe's equivalent of the Scar H, and through all the different seasons of this game, it always sat at the top of the tier list, and it got to the point that people were just getting tired of it dominating every single match. The fire rate was generous, damage was awesome, time to kill unmatched, really easy to use. And unlike previous versions of the Scar, you could actually load it with a 60-round mag for extra spam potential. The TAC was definitely fun to use, but the way it was spammed definitely made people frustrated with it, and I think it's worthy of being called the most hated gun in this game. It just made your experience feel stale with it being at the top of the tier list every single season, no matter how many times the game was patched. Modern Warfare 3 2023. The Reclaimer 18. Now this shotgun is the new COD Universe's version of the iconic Spaz 12, and this version could be used in either pump or semi-auto, which is actually accurate to how the real-world Spaz works, which is cool. It's also one of the most hated guns in the history of Modern Warfare because of how obnoxious it could get with a certain attachment. While the Reclaimer 18 was perfectly fine on its own, the Jak Devastator's conversion kit cranked up the power and made it one of the most difficult guns in the entire game to go up against, and a lot of people online were even saying it ruined the game entirely. There was even some conspiracy theories among Modern Warfare 3 players that Sledge made the Reclaimer 18 so strong on purpose in months leading up to Black Ops 6 because Activision wanted to make people so frustrated with Modern Warfare 3 they would jump ship to the new game. Do you believe that? I don't, but it's kind of funny. In Black Ops 6, the Krig C. This might be outdated by the time you see this video because Treyarch seems pretty dedicated to rebalancing the assault rifles in the game, but ever since it was added to the game, the Krig C has been a major annoyance for most of the community because, well, it's overpowered. Generous fire rate, zero recoil, generous 4-shot kill range makes it one of the most competitive guns in the game and arguably the best gun in the game, at least before the nerfs. At the time I'm making this, Treyarch has nerfed the Krig C once, but people are still spamming it in every single lobby I join, so clearly the patch didn't go far enough. The community is getting tired of the Krig spam. We'll see what happens, but right now, I think it's pretty hated. And there you have it. Let me know where you agree, let me know where you disagree, and I'll see you soon.